Positive Behavior and Solutions for Families. This is Series 5 of the 5 series that we put together. I hope these have been helpful, and for this series we will just be doing some review and putting it all together. Keeping a consistent schedule and set rules. I provided some samples of do-it-yourself schedules that you can make at home. So this way you don't have to hopefully run out and buy any supplies. You can just use a piece of paper. You just need some glue. You can make them creative and have the kids help you and draw pictures on them. So this can be an activity that can increase that relationship building that we've talked about, as well as developing that schedule for them. On the other side, they used a clipboard and some clothespins with looks like just some sticky notes or a piece of paper, whatever supplies you have at home, and you can do it yourself and make it your own. But the biggest thing is keeping a consistent schedule, reviewing that schedule daily, and trying to the best that you can during this hard time, maintaining a daily routine for not only your kids but for yourself. Use of encouragement and increased positive language. Again, it's just some things you can do with some homemade supplies. If you have any type of, this could be cardboard, it doesn't have to be those strips. You could use a cup, you could use a piece of paper and put activities on it, but the idea is ensuring that we are spending time with our kid. We're developing those goals for that relationship tank that we're going to take the time each day, if it's not every day, maybe 3 times a week, and spend that quality one-on-one time to increase that relationship, as well as hopefully increase that reinforcement of that one-on-one time. You can post sticky notes along. Maybe if your children have done a really nice job, just putting a sticky note next to them and saying great job, and doing it for yourself too, and giving yourself that positive motivation. And the last one that is hard to see, you need motivation. This can be done on a piece of paper. You could just write some different types of motivation that you need and cut it up and put different types of phrases or types of, so you need more energy, or we need more encouragement and more motivation. These are all things that can be done with your children, or you can do them on your own with hopefully supplies that you already have. Emotion regulation and breathing. During this tough time, I believe, and not only now, but more now than ever, we find ourselves having a hard time regulating and a hard time just pausing, thinking about things, and taking a deep breath. We experience a lot of overthinking right now, possibly oversleeping, overeating. I'm sure there's a lot of avoidance, and all of us are starting to lose our temper given that our kids are home, our routines are thrown off, we're not able to go anywhere, we're all getting a little stir crazy, and we're all thinking about what's going on with social media and worrying about cleaning and making sure that we're not getting sick. So during this time, we really want to make sure that we pause and take a deep breath. Breathing exercises are a great way for us to just pause and take some time to ourselves. We talked a little bit about the breathing exercises in the other series, but for this one, you could do the 4-7-8. So you would breathe through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then breathe out through your mouth for 8 seconds. I attended an online webinar, and one of the questions they asked us was, how often do we just pause and breathe and honestly think about our answer? How many times have we just stopped and breathed or just be still? We give ourselves permissions to think about and overthink about all the things we have to do, and sometimes we find ourselves ruminating over, have we cleaned good enough? Did we get this done today? Did we do that today? But we don't give ourselves permission to just breathe and just be still. So I challenge all of you each day to try to take that time to just breathe or just be still. We all deserve it, especially during this hard time. This slide shows us examples for the calming area or calming space. This one is called a cozy cove. You can, again, this could be an activity that you do with your children out of a cardboard box, or it could just be a dedicated space. It doesn't have to be a box. But for this one, it's just a cardboard box, paper, scissors, glue, and paint or markers, but you could just designate a corner of your area of your house and just put maybe some pillows and have some homemade feelings there and what they can do. So encourage breathing, encourage some sensory activities. And here's an example of a do-it-yourself sensory bottle. Again, you could just use some water, a water bottle, glitter, food coloring beads, whatever supplies you have at home that the student can just shake, and it helps as like a calming mechanism and a sensory item for those times that they're getting frustrated. First then, so this is just a sample of a piece of paper that somebody put together. You could use a whiteboard, you could make them on a computer, you can have your kids make them and decorate them. They could go on, if you have access to a computer, and they could print, a piece with their favorite princess. These are meant to be motivating. So our children are given the opportunity to engage in a high probability behavior. So for this student, it would be iPad after a low probability behavior. So math is something that they're frustrated in, and the iPad is a big reinforcer. So we want to tell them you can have the iPad once you complete your math worksheet. The key thing is to find something that would serve as a big carrot for your student or your child, so that they're motivated to want to do it because they want access. So for this to be more effective, especially during this time, we may need to limit access to when they have those types of equipment or those really reinforcing, motivating objects, so that they're more willing to do what it is I want them to do. And here's just some resources that I put together for the schedules you could use for the chores, the rules list that we talked about, some sensory items. I put on here Play-Doh is another nice sensory item that you can make at home with your kids. It's a simple recipe. The 7 evidence-based strategies from Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence was a webinar that I attended, and there's a link with some really great strategies to help with emotional regulation, as well as a first then, some tips on the first then and how it actually works and the principle behind it. I hope you have all enjoyed these series. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. And again, if you ever need anything, please reach out to your teachers. You can reach out to myself. We're all here to support one another during this difficult time.